You think you've finally broken free from that darkness. Don't get too comfortable. Just when you start breathing easy, when the light finally cracks through after months of being trapped in misery, ding, a text from your past slices through you like an ice-cold blade. This isn't some random coincidence, not a plea for peace. It's the sick game narcissists play, a twisted plot spun to drag you back into the cage they call love. I've been there, believing I'd shattered the chains, only to see that name flash across my screen. I need to talk to you. Sweet? Hell no, it's a poisoned arrow aimed to rip open the wounds you're fighting to heal. They can't stand you walking away, can't stomach your happiness, because to them your joy is their defeat, and they'll stop at nothing to keep you crushed under their heel. In this video today, I'm exposing every warped trick narcissists use to hook you back, from hollow apologies to their flying monkey cronies ready to betray you. This isn't just about surviving, it's your blueprint to rise up, sever every tie, and make them tremble at your power. Don't look away. The next narcissist could be stalking you right now. It all sparked from a moment I never saw coming. Join me to flip this game upside down. And if you want to stay armed against these creeps, smash that subscribe button now. That moment I teased in the intro? It's not just talk. Let me tell you about Jess, a girl who thought she'd outrun her nightmare. Jess had been free from him for 6 months. 6 months of liberty after years suffocating under deceit and control. Her life was finally clicking. She landed a big contract at her ad agency, started jogging mornings at the park, and even went on dates with a chill guy from yoga class. But then, on a crisp fall night, with wind howling outside her window, her phone buzzed. She glanced down. Unknown number, but the text hit like a gunshot. "Hey, Jess. I can't sleep missing you." Her heart slammed in her chest, not from butterflies, but from bone-chilling dread. She'd blocked him everywhere, wiped his number clean, but that syrupy tone like some sad country song made her skin crawl. She froze on her couch, hands trembling around a cold coffee mug, wondering how he knew she was thriving. 2 hours later, another text. "I'm in therapy for you." Therapy? The guy who smirked when she begged for a shred of decency. Then her phone buzzed again. A call. The ringing pierced the night like an alarm, dragging her back to those torturous days. Jess almost hit accept, nearly tumbled into the trap, but she stopped, saw it wasn't an apology, it was his sick game to reel her back in. And that's why I'm here. In this video today, I'm exposing every twisted trick narcissists like him use to hook you back, so you never fall into the snare Jess almost did. 1. Hoovering hell. The narcissist's trick to reel you back. Alright, we just saw Jess nearly get dragged back into that deadly trap, and now it's time to rip open the first game narcissists like him play. I call it the soul-sucking game, Hoovering 101. This is their #1 move, crafted to vacuum you back in just when you think you're free. Picture this. You're a fish that finally slipped the net, swimming free under the sun. Then whoosh, a giant vacuum yanks you back into the dark. That's hoovering in a nutshell. They don't strike randomly. They hit when you're at your peak. Jess had her dream job, a new romance, and bam, he swoops in with "I miss you." That's not love. It's a razor-sharp hook dipped in sugar to reel you in. They stalk you, maybe through social media, maybe through mutual friends, and when they see you shining, they can't stand it. To a narcissist, your happiness is a dare, and they'll do anything to snuff it out. How does this play out? They toss out Hollywood-grade lines. "I've changed. I can't live without you." Sound familiar? Jess got "I'm in therapy for you" a sucker punch right to her empathy. But don't be fooled. This isn't truth, it's tactics. They know your buttons, your old wounds, and they play this game like pros. It's like a horror flick. You think the hero's escaped, but the villain always lurks back at the last second. I've seen dozens fall for it. My buddy Mike ignored the first text from his ex, but by the third, "I just want to apologize in person," he caved. He met her, and within a month, he was her puppet again. Job gone, friends gone, everything gone. That's the power of hoovering. It doesn't just pull you back, it wrecks everything you've built. So, how do you beat this game? First, lock every damn door. Block their number, block their email, block those random digits popping into your inbox at midnight. Jess tried, but he slithered through the cracks. So you've got to go harder. Don't reply, not even a word, because once you bite, you're done. I get it, it's tough when they play weak or pitiful, but it's an act, not reality. Second, keep your wins under wraps. Don't post pics of you living it up in Hawaii or flex your new boo on Instagram. Narcissists are sharks sniffing for blood. Jess had no clue he was stalking her through a burner account. They're that good. Your happiness is what they crave, and they'll use it to bait you back. Here's the brutal truth. They don't want you strong, they want you weak so they can stomp on you again. But you're not prey, you're the predator in this game. In this video today, I'm showing you how to smash that vacuum to pieces and make them never dare come back. Hoovering's just the start, buckle up, because we're diving deeper into their sick playbook next. 2. Fake tears and false promises. The narcissist's last sick ace. We just smashed their hoovering vacuum in the last part, but don't think you're safe yet. Narcissists always have an ace up their sleeve, and I call it fake tears and false promises, the last sick ace. This is their final, most ruthless blow, unleashed when you're inches from freedom. Picture this. You've just bolted from a burning house, and as you glance back at the ashes, they step out of the shadows, eyes brimming with tears. I'll change for you. Sounds like a rom-com climax, right? Wrong. It's a ticking time bomb they shove into your hands. Jess, the girl we met earlier, ran smack into this one. After the hoovering texts, he upped the game. A sobbing phone call, swearing he'd start therapy, even sending a pic of some self-help book as proof. She almost bought it. Who doesn't want a Hollywood happy ending? But here's the cold truth. Those promises are as empty as a whiskey bottle after a bender. They don't change, they just want you back to stomp on your heart again. This trick works because it preys on our biggest weakness, hope. They know you've begged them to be kinder, truer, and now they weaponize that against you. I won't text other girls anymore. I'll show up on time. Ring a bell. I watched my friend Sarah get lured back by her ex's "I'll quit gambling" line. 2 weeks later, he vanished with her rent money. That's not change, it's theatre to keep you spinning in their orbit. How good are they at this? Think of a magician. They blind you with a tearful show, then stab you in the back when you're not looking. Jess got that 2 a.m. call, bawling, claiming regret for cheating. She nearly raced to his place to talk, but thank God she paused. Why? Because she remembered the last time he regretted he strung her along for 3 more months before dumping her cold. I've dug into hundreds of these stories, and guess what I found? Not one narcissist pulls a real 180. They might fake it for a few weeks, showing up on time, buying flowers, giving you those puppy dog eyes, but then, like a snake shedding skin, they slither back to their true selves. A guy I know, Tom, fell for his ex's "I'll stop controlling" vow. She lasted a month, then she was back rifling through his phone, screaming when he dared hang with friends. It's a trap. They promise to win you, not to fix themselves. So how do you shred this ace? First, don't let them perform on your stage. When Jess heard "I'll change," she wanted to believe, but instead of diving in, she said, "Great, go change, but don't contact me." You've got to shove them out. Let them prove it if they're for real. Here's the secret. 99% of them won't. They want you there watching, not walking away while they fix themselves. Second, don't let emotions run the show. I get it, hearing them cry, seeing them try tugs at your heart, but those are crocodile tears, not truth. Sarah learned this the hard way. After trusting "I'll change" the 3rd time, she lost her apartment to his debts. Don't let them use your time to play pretend. They need to walk through fire alone, not with you holding their hand. Finally, check their track record. Have they ever kept a promise? Jess recalled a dozen vows he made before she bailed. Not one was real. If they didn't change when you begged, why would they now? This is their last-ditch play to keep you in their grip. A sick ace dealt when they know you're about to win. But you're tougher than that. In this video today, we're tearing through their other games next. You ready? 3. Flying Monkeys, the Narcissists' creepy crony army. We just tore apart their false promises ace in the last part, but don't think the game's over. Narcissists have a secret army way scarier than that. Flying Monkeys, the creepy crony army. These aren't the winged monkeys from Wizard of Oz. They're real people twisted by the narcissist to swarm you like a busted beehive. Imagine you've just crawled out of their lair, piecing your life back together when bam! Friends, family, even co-workers turn on you, accusing you of hurting the narcissist. That's the raw power of flying monkeys. Jess, the girl we met earlier, didn't just face texts and calls from her ex, she got ambushed by her whole squad. One day, her best friend Mandy texted, "How could you ditch him when he needed you most?" Jess was floored. He'd turned Mandy into a crony, stuffing her head with lies that he was the victim. Then her mum called. "You're so selfish, he said he tried everything for you." Jess felt the world closing in, and that's exactly what this game's designed to do. Who are these flying monkeys? They're people who used to have your back. Friends, relatives, co-workers, now puppets on the narcissist strings. They're not always evil, sometimes they're just naive, suckered by fake tears and the poor me sob story. Jess's ex bawled to Mandy, claiming Jess abandoned him in despair when he'd been the one cheating for 2 years. They're like the mob in a horror movie, charging at you with torches because they think you're the monster. I've seen this up close with my buddy Ryan. After cutting off his toxic ex, his co-workers shunned him. She'd spread rumors he mentally abused her, and suddenly he was a pariah at lunch. Even his boss gave him the side eye. Ryan nearly lost his job over these flying monkeys. They didn't need proof, just her tearjerker tale to join the fight. So how do you survive this army? First, hold tight to your truth. When the world, or at least this posse, turns on you, you'll want to scream your side. Jess almost called Mandy to explain, but I told her, "Don't waste your breath. They're brainwashed, and arguing just drains you. Stand firm like a lighthouse. You know the truth, and that's enough to keep you sane." Second, don't play their game. Flying monkeys love dragging you into the drama, texting, calling, even confronting you to set you straight. Ryan tried reasoning with a co-worker, explaining his ex lied. She just yelled back, "You're a jerk." Don't wade into the mud. Silence is your sharpest weapon. Block them if you have to, because every word you say is ammo for the narcissist. Third, watch out for double agents. Some flying monkeys play neutral, I just want to mediate, but don't buy it. Mandy told Jess she wanted to help both sides, but she was feeding every word Jess said back to the ex. These types are sneakier than outright cronies. They're spies in disguise, and you've got to keep them at arm's length. Finally, build your own crew. When the flying monkeys strike, you need people untainted by the old drama. New friends, new co-workers, anyone the narcissist can't touch. Jess found solace in a running group. They didn't know her ex, and that saved her from drowning in isolation. Ryan switched departments, made buddies who hadn't heard the gossip. Here's the deal. Flying monkeys aren't just a nuisance. They're the narcissist's whims WMD, built to make you doubt yourself. But you don't have to crumble. In this video today, we're smashing through their other games next. From here on, you're the one holding the reins, not this creepy crony army. 4. Couples therapy chaos, the narcissist's twisted playground. We just kicked their flying monkeys to the curb in the last part, but don't think narcissists are waving the white flag. They've got an even deadlier playground, couples therapy chaos, the narcissist's twisted playground. You think couples therapy's your ticket out of that toxic mess? Think again. With a narcissist, it's not a counseling room, it's an arena where they turn you into the loser right in front of the therapist. Picture this. You walk in hoping for a flicker of light, only to get crushed under their Oscar-worthy performance. That's the game right there. Jess, our girl from earlier, tried this route. After the hoovering texts and fake promises from her ex, she figured, If I drag him to couples therapy, maybe things will shift. She stepped in with an open heart, but he turned it into a Broadway show. Calm voice, misty eyes, spinning a tale that Jess was too demanding, and he just wanted her happy. The therapist nodded along while Jess sat there, jaw dropped, unable to believe she'd become the villain in her own damn story. Here's how it rolls. Narcissists turn therapy into a high-stakes manipulation fest. They stroll in polished, polite, charming, like the lead in a drama flick. Meanwhile you, worn out from years of gaslighting and torment, look frazzled, confused, easily pegged as the problem. For Jess, her ex recounted their fights but conveniently twisted it all. She kept suspecting me for no reason, when he was the one texting 3 others behind her back. The therapist doesn't know the truth, and the narcissist paints you as the unhinged one right in their face. I've seen it firsthand with my friend Lisa. She and her cheating ex went to therapy. She wanted to save things. But he sat there, grinning like a gentleman, claiming Lisa was oversensitive and blew things out of proportion. The therapist suggested Lisa manage her emotions, while he'd been chiseling away at her piece by piece. 2 sessions later, Lisa bailed. But because therapy was just another knife in her back, courtesy of his game, why do they even agree to couples therapy? Here's the twisted part. They see it as a chance to score big. 1, they want to look like the good guy. See, I tried everything, so they can blame you when it all crashes. 2, they turn the therapist into an audience for their poor me act. Jess's ex pulled this, sobbing that I begged for forgiveness but she wouldn't budge. The therapist eyed Jess like she was heartless, while he was just hamming it up to flex his power. But here's the scary truth. Not every therapist catches this game. Many are trained to stay neutral. They assume both sides share fault, and that's the narcissist's ace. Lisa said her therapist kept asking, "How do you feel when he says that?" as if her reaction was the issue, not his actions. For narcissist, therapy isn't about fixing, it's a battlefield to crush you all over again. So how do you survive this twisted playground? First, don't go unless the therapist gets narcissism. Otherwise, you're tossing yourself into the fire. Jess got lucky later with one who saw through her ex's manipulation, but not everyone scores that win. You need a pro who can cut through the act, not get sucked into their performance. Second, document everything. Your truth is your armor. Jess started bringing notes on his cheating, his empty promises, so when he twisted the tale, she had hard facts. Don't let them paint you as crazy. The truth is your best weapon against their therapy room circus. Third, know when to bolt. Lisa figured out after 3 sessions that therapy wouldn't save the relationship. It just hurt her more. If the therapist buys their story or you feel blamed, get up and walk out. That's not losing, it's winning by refusing to play their game. Finally, remember, narcissists don't show up to heal, they show up to dominate. Jess's ex bailed when the therapist started asking real questions. He called it a waste of time. That's your sign you're winning. When they can't manipulate anymore, they run. In this video today, we're tearing into their next tricks. You ready to keep crushing it? We just blew the lid off their couples therapy circus in the last part, but now I'm putting on my psych expert hat to yank you out of this mess, not with gut feelings, but with stone-cold science and strategy. This is Breaking the Narcissist Chains, expert moves to shatter the narcissist's vicious games. If hoovering fake promises or flying monkeys have left you spinning, this is your roadmap to reclaim power, not just to survive, but to crush them at their own game. Let's kick off with the raw truth. You're not crazy, and you're not alone. Renowned psychologist Carl Gustav Jung once said, "The narcissist is a master at projecting their shadows onto others. They make you doubt yourself. It's their first weapon." Jess, who we've talked about, nearly lost her grip when her friends and mum turned on her, but I'm here to tell you, it's not your fault. Science shows narcissists use psychological manipulation to make you feel like the problem, but you can break that cycle by seeing their game for what it is. Step 1 to smashing these chains: spot the pattern and never let them rewrite your story. Dr. Ramani Devasula, a leading expert on narcissism, nails it. Narcissists don't change, they just switch tactics. That "I'll change" vow Jess's ex threw out, pure tactics, not truth. Don't let them shake you, keep a journal, save texts, hold on to every shred of their toxicity. With the truth in your grip, they can't gaslight you for another second. Next, build your mental fortress, not to hide, but to strike back. Psychologist Albert Ellis, the godfather of cognitive behavioral therapy, said, "You can't control others, but you can control how you react." When Jess's ex called sobbing at 2 a.m., she didn't pick up, not out of weakness, but because she refused to play. Don't let emotions drag you into the trap. Forge indifference like a blade. Every time you don't respond, you slice through a cord they use to yank you around. Step 3. Starve their supply. What pros call narcissistic supply. Dr. Craig Malkin, author of Rethinking Narcissism, puts it straight. Narcissists thrive on attention, positive or negative. When you argue with flying monkeys or cry over their fake apologies, you're feeding them. Jess figured this out when she blocked Mandy and her ex. No explanations, no drama. You've got to starve them with silence. Stop being prey and become a ghost they can't touch. But here's the big one. Rebuild yourself from the ashes they left behind. Psychologist Brené Brown hit it hard. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the gateway to strength. You've been bruised by their tricks, like Jess losing her crew, but that's not the end. Seek out people untainted by the narcissist, a support group, a therapist who gets narcissism, or just fresh friends. Every step away from them is a sucker punch to their fragile ego. I've counseled folks like Alex who got dragged through hoovering hell and flying monkey attacks by his ex. She swore she'd change, then turned his family against him. But Alex followed this playbook, documented her lies, cut all contact, found a narcissism-savvy therapist. 6 months later, he wasn't just surviving, he was thriving, while she scrambled for new supply. That's living proof you can shatter their game. So what do you do today? First, face the facts. Narcissists don't have a heart, and you don't need them to feel whole. Dr. Juravasula drives it home. Recovery starts when you stop waiting for an apology. Don't wait for their fix. Fix yourself. Second, commit to no contact, like a blood oath. No texts, no meetups, no letting them worm into your head. Finally, turn pain into power, like Jess did joining that running group and reclaiming herself. This isn't just getting out, it's winning. Narcissists want you on your knees, but with these moves, you'll tower over anything they ever dreamed. This whole video's shown you how to crush hoovering, rip apart fake promises and obliterate flying monkeys. Now you've got expert tools to break their game for good. Step out, live loud, and let them drown in the darkness they built. You ready? Before we wrap up, let me introduce you to something epic. Stoic Pathways, a community for warriors breaking free from the narcissist chains and reclaiming their lives. At Stoic Pathways, we don't just expose the narcissist's sick games from hoovering to flying monkeys. We arm you with battle-tested tools, rooted in Stoic philosophy and cutting-edge psychology, to fight back and win. Join us and you'll connect with a tribe that gets your pain. Unlock practical lessons to rebuild your peace, and tap into the power to live happy without ever looking back. Don't just watch, take charge.